is outside in the double one, Chuck Allendorf. Row number 12, the 20 of Evan Cole to the Steve Schneider, excuse me. iRacing has them listed a little different. I was cheating looking on the other page. But rounding out the field, Patrick Aguirre in the 981 in the Bucky scheme. Oh, wow.
I was gonna say, I like that paint scheme.
Front three, they're making their way up the road here, huh? You don't want to be too careful. Oh, we got a car around.
That is Joe Klutz around into the infield off the nose of Chuck Allendorf. That was the battle for 13th when that happened. Oh!
Oh, and an aggressive track re-entry there, Sky. That was really close.
Oh boy, this is the 6 car right here. This is Joe Klutz. He's gonna come in. This is off the nose of this 11 car. Ooh, tough to say there from that angle who really started that. Klutz is going to come onto the track here with an aggressive rejoin, and I think it might have been Keith Markison in the 76 back here. Just catching, it was the 981 is who that was. That was Patrick Aguirre.
Bucky's.
Just barely catching that. That was the Bucky's car.
Oh, man. Hands of the race so far. I don't know how he kept that thing out of the rear end. He may need a new pair of pants from Bucky's after this one. Maybe they'll hook him up. Hopefully they're in the mail.
Yeah, you can get ones there. You got Bucky the Beaver all over them. Nice and cozy pajama pants.
Here, Ryan Reyes here. Right now running around 19th. Didn't have the best start. I believe he was involved in that early loop, but coming up on the Bucky's machine here, trying to make his way back up to the front. Will we see a move going into the bus stop? Looks like he's going to take a peek and think about it. Big send side by side. Well, the Bucky's machine cuts through the grass. They live to fight another day.
Yeah, now the Bucky's machine's going to give up some spots because here comes Joe Klutz to the inside of that car and a couple others making moves through on the bottom. Big slowdown for that car. Donald Manning in the 28 also going to get around, and now it's these two who are going to be in pursuit of Reyes. The turn one making contact with the rear bumper of the driver right in front of him. That is going to hurt Neil Faulkner, who will drop back to 10th on the race.
You see the Bucky's machine got his head down. Gets in the brakes a little early, though, and now all of a sudden may become bait here. Look up in the mirror. That white car is getting pretty big.
That's Whitehurst in the 970 making some moves. He was a little higher up a couple laps ago. He's fallen back. He's trying to get back on the attack to put himself back in the top 15 as Baines, Aguirre, and Whitehurst all go at it. Ryan Reyes has absolutely ditched this pack. He's pulled a 10-second lead out, and now Baines looked a little to the inside there. Looked like Aguirre might be able to get something going, but it doesn't work out.
Yeah, Baines definitely driving defensive here, and thought maybe that would make him pay a little bit going down here across the backstretch, but still able to get a good run out of that left-hander and almost pull away even with the draft. Impressive run. He's showing it may only be P15, but he needs the points. He's going to run hard here as we come up on the halfway point. We're only about 3 or 4 laps away from it, Sky.
Yeah, 38 minutes to go, 22 in the books. This is that battle I was referencing further up. I have to imagine if someone up front comes down, that is going to be where a lot of people start to follow. It's Joe Klutz in the pit lane right now, along with Patrick Aguirre, both making pit stops. Robert Baines also coming down. So it seems to be mostly cars who are running further back, making these pit stops right now.
Yeah, I think if you're Z out front, last lap he just ran a 1:44.6, fastest lap of the race. So, as we mentioned, the lighter that thing gets on gas, the faster it's going to be around the straightaways here and at the Daytona road course. That's, a third of the place. You're just hammered down, turning left, and the lighter the load, the faster you're going to go. I think if you're out front, you just go until that thing is running on fumes.
Yeah, for sure. Matt Robinson also making the turn down pit road in that 25 car. one of the higher up cars to pit. I believe he was running in 5th at the time entering the pits. So a couple cars all trying to come down, play some.
That's the benefit too, Sky, if you're gas only here. The less you gotta add at the end, you know, that's the better. So try to run as long as you can, only add a couple gallons here, and you're gonna be in the pits for a shorter amount of time.
That if he just runs consistent laps, maybe he can pick up some spots on some of these other novice class guys in front of him, like Baines and Aguirre.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of just not being your night, right behind him, I mean, Brad Dunn had a decent qualifying effort, qualified P12, but just fell off there, looped it around twice, but trying to work his way back into the top 20 and not too far up the road. We'll have to see if that checkered board can get himself back into the top 20.
Also within a second is the 25 car Robinson. He's a little slower than Kevin Orr last time around, but he's still gotten that gap down pretty nice. He might have something for the 36. He can just run consistent laps.
Yeah, or Matt just put the big boy pants on too and made a big move past the Bucky's car and another lap car. He knew he couldn't afford to lose any time. He can see that 36 out the windshield, and it was do or die. He wants to talk to us at the end of this thing, Sky.
Yeah, he is driving for a spot on that podium. He's got 15 minutes left to go get it right now, sitting in 4th. It's a pretty big gap between a lot of these positions up front. It's 16 seconds from Connie to Wong. It is 13 seconds from Orr to Connie up there in 2nd, and then Matt Robinson kind of hanging out 1.7 back now of Orr, as Orr has continued to pull out some time on that 25 car.
And we are back live here for the PCA Sim Racing week number 1 here at Daytona. And as you saw, we were really treated with a great race here tonight. And I think we're going to take a look here at the finishing order. I'm going to send you your top 10, and then we'll let Sky close it out. But Z Wong here with an outstanding race here, week number 1, bringing it home by almost 18 seconds over P2 Sylvester Canning. Matt Robinson rounding out the podium. Kevin Orr, P4. Jonathan Kuo, P5. Todd Bellows, 6th. Nick Francis, 7th. Ryan Reyes, 8th. 9th, Donald Manning. And rounding out the top 10, Neil Falk.
Last car on the lead lap tonight, John Kaplan in 11th. Dave Jones in 12th. John Tabbs in 13th. Dennis Lynn brings it home 14th. Ben Whitehurst in the 970 in 15th with Joe Clute 16th, and David Sauntry 17th. Patrick Aguirre finishes 18th. Robert Baines 19th. Last car in the top 20 will be Chuck Allendorf in the 11. And rounding out your field tonight will be Brad Dunn, Evan Cole, Keith Markison, John Chimples, and Steve Schneider in 25th.